Hey y'all, what's going on, V Riders? How are you doing on this great feeling day? Y'all, as you can see, I am back with another video. This one here is going to dive deep into something that I hear a lot of people are afraid, definitely afraid of. And I have a story about it, but what's going on, people? Before we get into it, how are you doing on today? I got my coffee in one of my favorite cups. This one says stay wild, moon child. It has the conjure on it. Look at that. It has the Ouija type of energy. Yes, no, maybe so. Well, get your teacups, get your coffee, because we about to talk about the Ouija board on today. Come on, y'all. Hello, riders. Hello, how are you? And welcome to my channel. This is Lady Vasori. And let's get ready for the ride. Y'all don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. All right, y'all. Let's get straight into it. Before we even talk about getting rid of it, how to get rid of it, put on my glasses. Y'all, I do not have any eye makeup on. I do have a infection on my eyes, so I'm looking a little regular, but it's okay. The message is still going to get out there. So before we get into how to get rid of a Ouija board, we're going to talk about the Ouija board itself. A Ouija board is not a toy, y'all. It's not. It's never a toy. Like it was for me back in the day when I was younger. It's not some game for sleepovers. And it's sure not just for fun. It's not. I can say the Ouija board is a spiritual device. It's a doorway. Anytime you lay your hands on an Ouija board and start calling in spirits to attune to you, you're opening yourself up. You might as well hang up a sign in the spirit world that says, come on into me, take over my body, because that is exactly what is happening. Okay? And the folks who get caught up the deepest, it's always the ones who are open. You may be an empath. You could be a seer. You could be just a sensitive person. Kids are very big. They are attracted to kids. Folks dealing with grief, a lot of grief, or anybody who always felt different. Sometimes you don't even know you got a gift, but that board will find out. It works off your energy. It's going to work off your curiosity. And it's also working off of whatever is unsettled inside of you. Sometimes you call in more than you ever would expect. It ain't no way. It does not attract itself to that, y'all. So for me, when I was coming up, it was a game, I thought, but I knew that something wasn't right. That board does not care if you believe or not. If you're open, or even just halfway open, you are a beacon, a light, and you might end up calling in more than you bargained for. The Ouija board. Let's tell you guys my story, why I tell you not to burn it. I had a lot of, and I'm going to show you guys the comments as well on something that I was talking about, and it was an eye-opener that I wanted to do this video because I had my very own experience as a child within the Ouija board. Let me tell you why I don't just say this to sound spooky or dramatic. This is real life because I lived it. When I was young, probably about 12 to 15, something like that, y'all. Me and my brother, one of my brothers, used to mess around with and a Ouija board. Now, where we came to get it, I think he bought it from Kmart. He got it, so I'm not sure of that part. But we'd wait until my mama went to bed, and then he'd pull it out, always wanting me to be the second set of hands. Now, anybody who knows, know the more hands on in a Ouija board, the more powerful you got, the more power you got moving, circulating. He was always chasing that power. It felt like it got stronger. He was always wanting to pull through something strong, my brother. And because I was the youngest, I did it. We called in spirits from my bloodline. We called in our uncle, folks we'd actually known that had done passed away, not just random energy. I remember clear as day one time my uncle came through. He used to give me quarters all the time. He came through, and it was a good energy. But we never closed out the energy because we didn't know that. We just put the board up. We also lived in a very, very old house, y'all, in the country. Rickety boards, and it's just an old house. And I think it was protected. It protected us because it was an old home from, it was my grandma's, no, the house was my granddad's. Well, my granddad and grandma, but somebody else lived in it before, but it was very, very old. But getting back to the story with the Ouija board, but one night, it wasn't just family that came through. My brother had a teenage friend that had been murdered. Murdered. We called on that spirit, and he came through strong. He told us plain as day to go tell my mama that I was murdered by a specific person. Clear as day. On the board. Clear as day. His name was Tony. Me and my brother sat there looking at each other like, are we really about to do this? And I was like, I think we should. You know, me being the younger. And we walked in the dark, me and my brother, to this guy's house. His mom's house. And it was on the other side of where we lived. So we got up. We went right across the neighborhood and knocked on his mama's door. I don't think the guy was gone for like 6 months or so. I'm not sure about that, but I know we called him in. Told her exactly what her son's spirit told us. That lady looked at us like we were out of our minds at first, but deep down, I know for a fact she knew we weren't lying. I knew she knew that we weren't lying. We were young, and I think my brother started off the conversation. I can't remember, but she listened to us, and she just said, okay. Now we don't know if she went in the house, started crying because her son, she had a lot of kids, but I remember that. I remember doing that off of the Ouija board. See, Lady V was powerful back then, didn't know it. Sometimes the truth is so heavy, folks don't even know what to do with it. But I knew her spirit knew we were telling it straight to her. We were telling the truth. I knew. So, after a while, I felt as though I could feel that board getting heavier. The house seemed to have a feeling about it that wasn't evil, but it had a heaviness about it, like spirits were waiting for us to open that board up. It had gained power, real power. Real power. The more we used it, the more it wanted from us. And my brother, he loved it. But I could tell it was starting to consume him. I was always sensitive, always protected. Even then, I wanted to protect my brother. I didn't want to play anymore, but my brother would get mad at me because I didn't want to play. I didn't know why I didn't want to play, but I didn't want to play, you know? Spirit told me clear as day, let it go. Me. I knew I was of the light. I knew that I was chosen even back then. I didn't know what my call was, but I knew something. But my brother, he didn't see it like that. That boy wanted more than us. It wanted more from us. It wanted to gain more power. And I was wise enough to step away, even at a young age. But it didn't stop there, y'all. It didn't stop there. See, I could see my brother getting darker. I felt the energy shifting in that house. I had a childhood friend whose daddy was a preacher and elder in the church, but he cussed a lot and carried on. He even drank a beer or two. He lived in my grandfather's trailer park, right walking distance. I used to go over there all the time and fool with her and go back home. My friend told me, go talk to my daddy about it, because I was telling her about it, I remember. So I did. I think she told him, and I went in the room and he said, what's going on? That's how he talked. So I did. I told him everything, what was happening with my brother, how that board felt, all the mess we were in, what we were doing. We were just playing around. And I'll never forget, y'all, that day. It was cold. No leaves on the trees. Grass was all brown and crunchy. It might have been winter. It was a cold, crisp day. One of those days where everything feels still and bare. The veil was thin. He looked at me and said, go get that board and bring it to me. And I did. My brother used to hide it, but I didn't say a word. I just grabbed it and left back out the house. I wanted to save my brother. Even if I didn't fully understand how deep it all was, I knew I had to save my brother. Now, my friend's daddy had already lit a fire outside in one of those old country barrels. You know, the burn barrels. Folks who grew up burning leaves and trash know what I mean. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That. Usually when you burning fire, you burning not burning fire, but you burning leaves and trash, the smoke runs white, just like a regular burning. The second I handed him that Ouija board, y'all, and he tossed it in the flames, that smoke turned black. Not gray, not off-white, jet black like midnight. I will never forget it. Jet black, blacker than this, like a black. That's when he started speaking over it. He started praying. He started calling out what it was. And he told me, look at it, look at it. Look at all them spirits coming off that thing. You see that? It was like billowing, y'all. Billowing. That's what you were playing with, he was saying. Not that it was evil or if it was good, but when I say them spirits came up out that board, he kept praying, he kept speaking the word, and I just stood there watching that black smoke pour out heavy and thick. It was just me and him outside. After a while, the smoke finally shifted. It turned back to white. My spirit, y'all, knew I was witnessing something real. Even when I was young, I felt that thing. That wasn't just trash burning. That was something being released and handled the right way. He burned it, but he released the spirit. He didn't know not to burn it. I thought it was the right way. He thought it was the right way. But now that I know and I'm older, even though he thought he was cutting the board, he released all those entities that had powered up in that board into the earth. Now that I know. So the hoodoo way, why do you not want to burn it? You do not burn it. Do not burn it. I've seen it for myself, hands on, when you burn it. So let's talk about what to do if you've got one and you want it gone. And let me be clear, the hoodoo way is not what you see in movies, it's not to burn it or on TV. First thing, again, you do not burn that board. I know folks love to think fire fixes everything, but when it comes to an Ouija board, burning it can open up a whole new set of problems, because you're releasing whatever is the board is holding. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Here's why. Number one, why not to burn? You don't know what you're releasing. Burning it might break up the wood or whatever it's made out of, but it releases everything that's ever been attached to that board. Fire moves energy fast. Okay? If something was called through that board, burning it can set that spirit loose instead of containing it. What? You can set the spirit loose. 2, fire can make it worse. Fire transforms and frees. That means if something was trapped, burning the board lets it out. You're not trapping anything. You're just handing it keys to the street. He didn't know that. He thought he was doing right. Number 3, spirits move in smoke, y'all. Spirits ride that smoke. If you don't know what you are doing, you could end up with all that mess following you. Settling in your house, which I told y'all it did, or riding right on out into the world, which it did as well, because when we burned it. But the energy was settling in our old home that we lived in. 4, it can backfire. I think the reason why it didn't come back on me because I was a child. I was young. I hadn't grown into doing no bad things yet, so it couldn't touch me. I was an innocent. But it can backfire. I've seen and heard about boards that won't burn, make strange noises, or just refuse to go quietly. That's not the time to double down. That's spirit telling you to stop. And if you don't know, you don't know. 5, our ancestors didn't do it that way at all. And he didn't know. And I most definitely didn't know as of yet. So in hoodoo, y'all, we have ways to close doors and stay protected. Okay? Burning is not how you would ever want to handle an Ouija board. We bury, salt, or leave it at the crossroads. Always do it within respect, but if you don't do it the correct way, it is very reckless. Very reckless. Bottom line, burning an Ouija board is about more than just destroying an object. It's about what you're letting loose and what might come back to you. In this work, y'all, we don't play with spirit. I see a lot of them on here playing with spirit. And don't move with intention and respect. With these boards, with these tools, with this conjuring. Now, talking about what to do instead, which is the hoodoo way, if you want to ever get rid of an Ouija board the right way, I'm going to give you what you do. Number one, you're going to cleanse yourself and your space. Cleanse yourself and your space. Don't even touch the board until you've washed your hands with Florida water or an ammonia mix. Light a white candle and cover yourself in prayer. Psalms 23, Psalms 91. 2, you want to wrap the board. Wrap it up. Take a brown paper bag or an old cloth, not plastic. Brown paper bag or an old cloth, not plastic. And you're going to sprinkle salt inside. You say, why salt? Salt is a cleansing, a purifier. And wrap up the board. Okay? 3, pray over it. Speak Psalms 23 or 91. 2 powerful Psalms. Call on your ancestors and say, no spirit, no confusion. No residue can stay or return. No spirit, no confusion. No residue can stay or return. 4, take it far away from you. You don't never want to toss it in the trash. You don't want to place it near you. You want to take it away from you. You could take it to a crossroads. Some people brave enough take it to the cemetery gate or running water, like a lake or a river. A river runs. 5, cleanse again. When you return, you're going to cleanse twice in this one. Cleanse again. Wash your hands. Wash your doors. Speak protection over your home. Seal it tight. Every opening to your home, that if it was in your home, every opening, every door, everything you're going to re-cleanse. Never bring another one back in your house unless you know exactly what you're doing and why. Now tell me, ain't that a story? Which is a true story. Very, very true. I'm going to show you guys some things that, comments that were said to me on ways to remove it. Here goes some right here. A couple of different ones. Look at all these comments. All the comments. So believe me when I say, don't play with this stuff if you don't know what you're doing. It's not a game. And don't think you can just burn your way out of a mess. Sometimes you open doors that only spirit or elder can help you close. Respect the work. Respect the spirits. Handle it right. Handle it right. Guys, if you need supplies or deeper help, check my shop or drop your questions below. If you need to speak with me about any of this, I do book many sessions in my shop for this type of situation, and just to have a little small conversation about what you can do. Don't let superstition and fear make you do something reckless. Do it the right way. Do it the right way, y'all. And it's not burning. It's not. I think I was highly protected because I was a kid. But I knew in my heart that something wasn't right. If you learned something today, let me know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe so more folks can get this real info. Okay? If you're new here, welcome in. I try to drop fresh videos daily, but most of the time Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So make sure again you are subscribed to my channel, and you're just welcome. I am so thankful and grateful, y'all. So thankful and grateful for all the blessings. I hear a lot of people say, I love the way you tell stories. You have the gift of storytelling. I guess I do. That's cool, right? If you're still thinking about, if you ever thought about getting you an Ouija board or touching an Ouija board after all this, do yourself a favor. Don't. It's not for the weak. Some doors can't be closed once they're open. Okay? So believe me when I say, don't play with this stuff. Again, if you do not know what you are doing and don't think you can just burn your way out of it, just don't. Okay? All right, y'all. This was an amazing, amazing video on the Ouija board. What do I do after if you decide to get rid of one? This is the correct way to do it. Y'all have an amazing rest of y'all day. All right. Ashe.